All right, let's go to our final division here for our NFL training camp narratives to watch for that we wrote down in the beginning of the preseason and now are visiting at the end of preseason, and that is the AFC West, the Chiefs, the Raiders, the Chargers, and the Broncos. So let's start here with the Chiefs. This is what we had to say to watch for the Chiefs training camp. We said Travis Kelsey, hopefully his head hasn't grown too much. All right, so Travis Kelsey has been looking good. I think he caught some solid balls there when he played in preseason game number 3 with our man Patrick Mahomes. I think we can bring up his stats quickly. I want to say he had a couple of catches. I know Tyreek Hill had a touchdown. I don't think Travis Kelsey had one. He had 2 catches for 35 yards. So we know Travis Kelsey's the man. We know this man's the real deal. We only didn't want to see him have too big of a head because he started tight end university and he's mentoring all these tight ends out here. But he's still getting his work done, and he's not letting the other tight ends kind of bring him down or surpass him. He's elevating his own game because he just told all the secrets to his game to all the other tight ends. So he's still getting better and is still going to be one of the top tier tight ends in this league. So Travis Kelsey is still A-okay, just shaved the beard. It went babyface, and then the internet lost their minds. Is this Chiefs a dynasty more than the average of 4 years? Now, we're seeing that this Chiefs team could be absolutely great because when it was Patrick Mahomes starting, they looked cool, crisp, calm, collected. I think they were winning that game at that point. At the end of quarter number 1, when all the starters really stopped playing, it was 14-3. I mean, you could not stop that Chiefs passing attack. They were scoring the ball. They were scoring touchdowns. Tyreek Hill was getting wide open down the field. Patrick Mahomes was accurate as heck. We had a sidearm pass of Patrick Mahomes in preseason game number 3 that kind of broke the internet like Patrick Mahomes does when he sidearms a ball. So this Chiefs team, we talk about dynasties and we talk about how hard it is to maintain your spot at the highest level, whether it's a team or just the highest level of position, cornerback, quarterback, running back, wide receiver, whatever it is. If you could be at the top of that, like top 3, top 2, top 1, as a team or individually for a more than a 4-year stretch, I mean, you are a true outlier. I mean, it's hard to go more than 4 years at the top of your sport, at the top of your position, whatever it is, and the Chiefs are kind of entering that a little bit. So seems like this Chiefs offense isn't slowing down anytime soon, so this could be a legit true dynasty, like a 20-year dynasty like the Patriots were. So they're looking great when all the starters out there. And Tyreek Hill, can he reclaim number 1 wide receiver status and continue to grow? Well, we just saw him in preseason game number 3, folks, right down the sideline. No big deal. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. We can bring it up once again right here. We got the play. Here it is. What's this one? Is this the one? No. I want to see the Tyreek Hill down the sideline. Where are we at here? It's fantastic. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. I mean, folks, just look at this. Just look at this. I mean, look at this. This is 5-yard separation by the end of this route. 5 yards of separation. Do you know how hard it is to get 5 full yards of separation in the league, folks, when it's one-on-one matchup? Geez, so yeah, Tyreek Hill can definitely reclaim that number 1 status. We still have him as number 1 wide receiver in our book, but we do know that the players and the coaches came out and voted, and they've voted Devontae Adams, the number 1 wide receiver in the league. But yeah, Tyreek Hill, baby, watch out for this man. Chiefs are looking like the real deal this year, like we all knew they would be. All right, the Raiders, John Gruden, make or break year. Yeah, I mean, it's still make or break. There's nothing that has shown in the preseason and in training camp which it would not be a make or break year for John Gruden. So we still need his level of play up, his level of coaching up, getting it done, winning games consistently, not just in the beginning of the season. We also need wins at the end of the season as well. And let's see what the Raiders did in preseason. They won their first preseason game against the Seahawks 20-7. They won their second preseason game against the Rams 17-16. Good close win right there. And then they ended up losing against the 49ers, getting blown out 34-10. So, all right, 2-1 in the preseason, not bad. But once again, it's good start, bad finish, which is John Gruden's freaking motto out here. So, okay, John, we'll see what you can do in the regular season. Can he coach? Once again, we don't know if he can coach. We didn't really learn that 2-1 and, losing the last preseason game. It's definitely not a good look because that's his motto. Hey, I'll win I'll be good in the first 7-8 games, and then the back 8 games, I'm floundering and we don't make the playoffs. Defense has to be solid. Let offense control the game. Darren Waller, can he be tight end number 1? Well, definitely can be tight end number 1. We know what this man is doing in this league. I don't believe Darren Waller. Did Darren Waller play any of these preseason games? Let's see. Let's go to preseason game number 3. If Darren Waller had anything productive. Derek Carr didn't play, so Darren Waller did not play. Let's see what happened in preseason game number 2 against the Rams. We get any Darren Waller great workout here? Once again, Derek Carr did not play, and neither did Darren Waller. So we still just know Darren Waller from last 2 seasons being absolutely freakish athletically and great wide receiver / tight end. So we're still believers in Darren Waller, just haven't seen him recently. And Derek Carr, can he silence his doubters? Well, no, because there's still doubters there on Twitter all the time on Derek Carr. I don't get it. I think Derek Carr is a huge good piece to this team. I really think it's all just John Gruden. So we didn't really learn anything about this Raiders team, what we wanted to learn in training camp and in the preseason games, but we'll know more by week 1. And if this Raiders team is not getting out to a hot start, it's done with John Gruden. The 10-year experiment of you signing John Gruden to a 10-year deal right off the rip didn't make any sense, and now we're heading into year 4 with really no good success under his belt here in the Raiders organization. So we'll see how they come out week 1, but so far still big question marks on this Raiders team. Alrighty. Chargers, could head coach Brandon Staley, can he win the close games? Well, let's see what they did in preseason. Obviously, we know preseason is different than the regular season, folks. I get it, but it's still a good early indication of what potentially could be going on here. So let's see what the Chargers did in preseason, because that's why Anthony Lynn got fired. He could not win the close game. So if you're going to make the head coach, if you're going to make the switch at head coach, you better hope that your replacement is better at winning the close games than what you just fired the head coach for doing bad, which was losing the close game. So let's see what they did in these preseason games. Preseason game number 1 for the Chargers. They win 13-6. Bingo bango. A 1-possession game. Fantastic. Week number 2, they lose a close one, 15-10. Ooh. And they scored 10 points in the second quarter. It was 15-10 in the fourth quarter, and the Chargers just couldn't put up any points. Unfortunate. And then preseason game number 3 for the Chargers. They lose 27-0 to the Seahawks. Well, that's not a close game, so I guess he didn't flounder there. He lost a blowout. I guess that's good for Brandon Staley. So, all right, Brandon Staley, it's going to come down to the regular season. Got to win those close games. Justin Herbert, can he continue his GOAT resume? Well, I don't believe Justin Herbert played in any preseason games. He did not. So we're assuming he can. We're big on our man, Justin Herbert. We do have him as the second best quarterback in the league currently. We will not apologize for this take. We absolutely love Justin Herbert and loved what we saw at the end of the stretch of last season. So we're expecting big things from Justin Herbert. So still some question marks here on the Chargers. Couldn't really get a good gauge on what we wanted to see. And then the last team here in the AFC West is the Broncos. Quarterback battle. Well, we know our official prediction was going to be Teddy Bridgewater winning the starting job, and Teddy Bridgewater won the starting job. We think that's the right choice, but we need to see Teddy Bridgewater take the deep ball, take the chances on the deep ball a little bit more. The dink and dunk, we saw it in preseason game number 1. Didn't see it too much in preseason game number 2, and then by the time preseason game 3 came along, he already won the starting job and was looking solid. Got out to a little bit of a rough start, but ended up picking it up later in the game. So quarterback battle has been decided by the Broncos. Unfortunate for Drew Lock. He's going to be the backup, but we do believe that they would have no problem going to Drew Lock midway in the season if Teddy Bridgewater is not getting it done. So Drew Lock, there's still hope that you can play at the starting level this season. All right, then, do they miss Phillip Lindsay? We thought that was a really, really wild decision to stick with Melvin Gordon over Phillip Lindsay. Even though Phillip Lindsay is younger and had back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons here, we thought he was looking absolutely great. Now, let's see where this Broncos rushing attack was ranking in the overall preseason offense by all the other teams. Was the, Melvin Gordon and company getting it done here for this Broncos team, or was it a lackluster rushing attack? I believe Melvin Gordon played in the final preseason game, so let's bring up his stats in that game quickly. They ended up beating the Rams 17-12 in the last preseason game. Melvin Gordon did play. He had 5 carries for 35 yards. That's 7 yards a carry, and it's yeah, that's fantastic. 7 yards a carry. Oof, that's fantastic. So all right, Melvin, very, very good preseason finale. We'll take that. All right, just overall rushing, this Broncos team ranked about midway, about kind of number 15/17-ish here. They had 320 rushing yards. The highest was 565. But they did have 5.2. Hang on, that's the Bears. Oh, 3.2. Okay, so they were very, very below average, like what the Steelers were doing, right at kind of that 3.3, 3.2, just average-ish mark right there overall by all the rushers here. So not the greatest here of Denver, but Melvin Gordon had a nice performance in preseason game number 3. So we'll see what is going to be true here. What is more true here? The rushing by committee or just Melvin Gordon getting it done himself? What else we get? Jerry Judy, do we see a year 2 leap? Well, I mean, we loved what we saw from Jerry Judy last season, and we've been seeing him in some highlight clips here of just kind of practices and what he's doing. So Jerry Judy, we're absolutely can't wait to see him. And now that he has the good serviceable quarterback that doesn't turn the ball over, hopefully we can start, scoring some more points. But once again, we do need Teddy Bridgewater to trust Jerry Judy. Jerry Judy, you can trust him. Cortland Sutton, these are 2 great wide receivers who will go up and get the ball wherever it is placed. We know Teddy Bridgewater is good accuracy-wise. So just take the chances down the field. Take these chances. Believe in your guys. Believe in your weapons because they're absolutely great. All right, final preseason game Jerry Judy did not play, but didn't he have one good? Maybe it was preseason game number 2 where he took like a ball. It was like a crossing route in the middle of the field, and then he kind of ran like 20 more yards through defenders. He had a real good performance that game, or at least just that one throw. I think that was in preseason game number 2. Let's see what his stats were there. Receiving for Jerry Judy, 2 catches for 40 yards in preseason game number 2. I'll take 20 yards a catch, absolutely. So yeah, Jerry Judy year 2 leap, it's going to be there. And can Von Miller stay and be healthy? Well, he's not injured. He's going to be ready to go week 1, so hopefully he's good to go there. And then Deshawn Watson, question mark. Well, we know they're probably not going to trade for Deshawn Watson. Doesn't seem like anybody's going to be trading for Deshawn Watson. We're about a week away from the start of the NFL season, and no team has traded for Deshawn Watson. I can't see teams rushing out with like 7 days left before they have to go out and play their first game, that they're like, all right, now's the time to get Deshawn Watson. If you are going to go and get Deshawn Watson, you pretty much would have already done that. It does seem like the Broncos are content on going with Teddy Bridgewater, and then if he's not working out, content with going with Drew Lock. And if both those don't work out, I think they just call it a wrap for this year and plan for whatever happens next season. So that's our training camp narratives for the Broncos. Alrighty, that is going to do it for us today, folks. I mean, we have officially wrapped up our training camp revisit narratives here. Fantastic. We've learned a lot of great things, but there are still a couple of teams that still are a little bit of question marks because they just didn't answer everything we wanted to see. So we'll kind of, keep obviously talking about these teams into the regular season and what they're all doing and taking it a week-by-week basis. So no worries there. But tomorrow we can start making some money on some overall win totals, folks. We can spend the majority of the day in the show looking at all those teams and what their wins are and what their schedule is looking like, and can we find those wins needed to win some money.